Welcome back everybody to Effingham Golf Club for this week's video blog. Hope everybody's fine, doing well, and your golf's improving. Now you're getting a few rounds under your belt. It's good to see you all back still. Little break in the weather. Thank goodness the temperatures have dropped down a little bit. Haven't had the rain that was forecast, and boy do we need that rain. So hopefully we'll get some on the forecast, and let's not get this wrong. I hope that wasn't the summer and now it's just going to be horrendous. But just a few mil of rain would just really help, just set everything back green and start looking a little bit more lush. Anyway, this week we're going to talk about pests, insects and problems we have on turf and what we have to deal with on a daily and yearly basis, especially now that we haven't got our chemicals. I'm going to attach a few videos just talking about bits individually, but you can see where I am. I'm up at the third at the moment, just in the meadow grass, and we are blessed with plenty of it, and we're very privileged to be able to have this amount of grass species up on the downs here, which supports so much wildlife and ecology. But one pest we do get with that this time of year is the dreaded tick. Tiny little thing that can inflict a nasty bite and leave you with a nasty disease called Lyme's disease. You will pick these things up by walking in this meadow grass. It's not as common as you think, so don't think you're just going to walk in here and you're going to get one. Those of you who've got furry friends, the dogs and the cats, you'll be used to the ticks, pulling them off and getting them off. But as golfers, we can get ticks on us. They'll be on your legs. They go up for the groin area, so always make sure you check yourself after each round of golf. And if you do find a tick, you need to remove it properly. Just don't pull it out and leave the head in. That will be a problem. You can get a nasty disease if you're unlucky, this Lyme's disease, from it. If you've had a bite, you find a tick in you, it's a bruise called the bullseye bruise is one way of showing it, and you'll see the pictures there, what it looks like. Any case, you need to go and see your doctor. It's usually a course of antibiotics they put you on. They can't tell straight away if you've got Lyme's disease, by the way. It's a blood test about a month later to see if the antibodies in your blood have detected it. So you need to go and see the doctor about it. Chances are Lyme's disease isn't as common as you think. It's mainly caused by the deer tick. We're not blessed with a lot of deer on this golf course at the moment, so we should be all right. But always check yourself after a round of golf this time of year. The other one we get the horsefly will be coming out now. Horsefly, it's quite a big black fly. You see the pictures in there. This can give you a nasty bite. Not life-threatening, but it's going to be itchy. It leaves a very hard piece of like a little boil in your leg. It will last for a week and go down, and it can ooze some clear liquid out of it. You can't feel these things biting you, unbelievably, and they go for the legs. So because we've got shorts on and the ladies got their skirts on, just be wary of those. It just be uncomfortable for a while. As greenkeepers, we get hit by horseflies quite a bit. Okay, so we'll go on to some other videos now, and we'll talk about the other problems we have on the golf course. Take care. So we have another modern pest on us. These are the big oak trees down on the 18th by the clubhouse, and we have some smaller ones, obviously, but we have got infected by this here. It's not a spider's web, believe it or not. It's called processionary moth. This is a nest of them. They're caterpillars at the moment. They get onto the oak trees. Oak processionary moth it's called. They will then quite happily infect this whole tree and then decimate the leaves on it. It will make it very sick, if not kill the tree. That's one thing with the tree, but for us as humans, this thing can be terrible if it gets on you. If you get a caterpillar on you, they are covered in thousands of hairs which will get into your skin, and they will cause a terrible rash. Very itchy. If you try to rub these things off, you will just rub the hairs into your skin. So if you've unfortunately ended up with one of these on you, they're saying like use sellotape, try and lift the hairs off. But best thing is try and stay away from these oak trees down here at 18 at the moment, or if you see any oak trees around. It's very big in Surrey and the south of England. It's a reportable pest, so we have to go onto a website, Forestry Commission website, and report it. So they are tracking it now. To get rid of it, obviously a nest at this height we can spray it. We can use a can insecticide, as we've done with these ones, and we can kill these off. The unfortunate thing is, once you start getting to these great big oaks, they could be up the top there, we can't deal with that. Then you have to get a contractor in who basically use an air powered pesticide, which they blow under enormous volumes of air up into the tree. Very expensive indeed. But if it has to be done, it has to be done. So we know we've got it now, and it's just a case of trying to follow it around these oak trees. But as I've said, as golfers or humans, if whoever's watching these videos, try and stay away from these things. They also go in lines, they will walk along the ground, they will walk along to the next tree. But just keep an eye out in your gardens if you've got oak trees or anything else. These and these little caterpillars, they will give you a nasty rash, trust me. So moving on, then we have other bugs and insects we have to deal with. This is the crane fly, or the daddy longlegs, you know. Very prolific at the beginning of the year. So they'd have been buzzing around. They'd be injecting their eggs into the greens and into other areas of turf, of course, and out of those eggs will develop a larvae which we call a leather jacket. Ugly little brown thing, as you can see, and you can get thousands of these in the greens. And then what happens is these start living off the roots of our plants, and it start decimating large areas. You'll see a discolouring first of all, and then die back. You cut a piece of turf out and you will find these things in large numbers under there, and then that's when you've got a problem. Similar thing with this time of year now, we have the May bug, and you can see these active at the moment on hot days. They'll be all over the greens, yet again injecting eggs into the greens, and this then turns into a larvae called the Schaefer grub, a fairly big white grub. Yet again can be prolific in numbers, and these will decimate large areas of greens. As you can see from the pictures, they're not the prettiest things, and they can sometimes get up to, you know, the size of your thumb. We found them in, not on greens of course, but when we've been turfing in other areas. There's a life cycle of them, which is very important that we know this cycle. It's the only way we can learn to deal with them. We used to have a very effective chemical for dealing with them, and of course we've now lost that. In recent years, or the last couple of years, they've had to release this chemical called acelepryn, which has come from the States under an enormous pressure from the turf industry. The government was that we had to somehow deal with these things. Mainly it came from the airport business. They've got, these airfields have got massive amounts of land between them, and of course they get these influx of insects coming through. Insects attract bird life and jet engines. Not very clever at all. So they've had to release this chemical as an emergency. We're only allowed to use 0.6 of a litre of it per hectare. I think you're allowed a maximum of 6 hectares worth. Very strict how you buy it, very strict how we use it. We have no trouble with it, and we will be purchasing here to do hectares worth of greens, thinking we have got this issue. The alternative of this is more of a natural product, is this nemesis. So it's nematodes, microscopic little creatures which you buy in a packet of dry powder. You put it into water and you spray it over your lawn or over the greens, and this will put in millions of these little nematodes, which then hunt these bugs out and inject themselves into these bugs, and they will kill them. It's very newish technology. We've known about nematodes for years. There's nematodes are in the soil, as good nematodes and bad nematodes. Some of the bad nematodes will get into the roots and kill plants, and these better nematodes, parasitic nematodes like these ones, which will then get into the Schaefer grubs and the leather jackets and kill them. It's fairly new technology. Timing is absolutely essential. It has to be completely drenched, these things do, so they're actually into the target area where these bugs are, and also very, very expensive. They come as live bugs almost, so the window and opportunity of using them, timing is critical with these things. But this technology is getting better and better as we move on, and it probably will be the answer in the future. Hope that's helped a little bit and given you a little bit of understanding what we're up against and what bugs and how to look after yourself a little bit. So take care everybody, and I'll speak to you soon.